Hey everybody, happy Friday. So I actually kind of have a little cold, but I just went and did acupuncture, which works miraculously, in case anyone was wondering. So I feel way better, but also was laying in the chair and this was coming up, so I thought I'd hop on and share. If you're here watching, say hi so I can see you. Say hi. So yeah, I was thinking about like how far I've come in my money story, and one of the biggest things for me to get over was resentment, which sounds really weird. Like, why on earth would you resent money? But that was one of my stories, because money was used as like a controlling thing for me when I was a little kid. So, well, I didn't want to be controlled, so I resented it, and there was a lot of things I resented about it. And then I was resentful that there's not enough. There's never enough. And resentment, like, how yummy is that energy, right? Like, why would it want to show up if I like, resent it? So it took me a long time to figure this out. And through the help of other beautiful beings that can see things that we can't, like, I was able to shift some of this because I knew something was there, because I felt like, quite honestly, like an ungrateful, selfish bitch. So it was really owning that, like, okay, why do I feel so ungrateful? Why am I unable to be grateful for money? So I had to really dig into my story. I had to really like go into some inner child, and it was really like my inner 5-year-old was managing my money, and she was really pissed off about responsibility. So I was like resentful for having responsibility of managing money, because it wasn't fun. So there's like this little tantrumy 5-year-old that was pissed off that she couldn't have fun, and she had to like be a grown-up and stuff. So that was like a huge realization for me. And when I realized that, I began to be able to see it in a new light. And something I learned a long time ago, and I still like work to embody it. Hey, Elizabeth, more and more every day, is with power comes responsibility. And obviously, if we can't be responsible with what we have, it's going to be harder to manage bigger numbers. But then also, if we resent managing what we currently have, or we resent the responsibility of managing money in general, like, why on earth would we let ourselves have more resentment? That doesn't make sense. And for a long time, for a big part of my life, in my 20s, I would just get rid of money, right? Because then I didn't have to manage it. There's nothing to manage. Like, yeah, I'm free, which emotionally made sense because money equaled not freedom for me. But logically, right, that doesn't make sense. The more money we have, the more free we are to choose different choices. So I had to like reframe those for myself. So with more responsibility actually comes more fun and freedom. But that was not my belief. My belief was responsibility is not fun. Responsibility sucks. So I had to like reframe those for myself. So what else was I? And then seeing money management as a blessing, like, because it's a blessing to pay, my electric bill or my water bill. So I have electricity and water. But I was just I had such hidden resentment that I was not able to find that gratitude. So when I was able to look at it like the masculine energy, it's, if you're secretly resentful of a man, but you say you trust him and you want him around, you see how there's like an energetic mismatch, and you'd be like, I trust you, I love you, I want you to come around. But then the second like he does something, you're like, like, or you find every reason to be mad at him all the time. It's like these little hidden resentments. So it was kind of digging into that, like, do you resent money? Do you resent it? Do you resent managing it and paying it? Do you feel like it's being taken from you? And then the flip side is knowing that you have choice. You're choosing to pay your bills. You're choosing to manage it. You're not being forced, but it's a choice. And you can reframe responsibility and find the gratitude. And quite literally for me, it was like getting on my knees, which, because of the rebel that I am, because all the resentments I had towards men and money, like getting on my knees, that means like, okay, I submit. I fucking submit. So when I say get on your knees, like, okay, I had to get on my knees and worship every dime, and not just be like mad that there wasn't more, because I was just mad that there wasn't more. I was like an angry 5-year-old that was throwing a fit all the time, quite honestly. So laying in the chair today, I was celebrating like how far I've come from 25 to almost 40 actually. And yeah, so I'm trying to think. I just did a video in my group. I'm trying to think of what else we covered. And then just, if I still feel that way, or when, because it still does creep up, is just kind of accepting myself for that. Like, that was a story. That was a story that I carried from childhood, and not beating myself up for it anymore, and just recognizing myself and accepting myself in those moments, in those emotions, in the moments of panic, in the emotions of ungratefulness, like knowing that some part of me felt safe in those, and I can accept that and not resist them and not push them away. So that's kind of how I get through when I still get taken back by the stories, because it's not like our habits don't just completely stop. Like, if you have money panic, like I used to have, like something comes and you just panic. It's not resisting the panic and just being with it, so that it can, I find when I do that, then I can take back choice, and then I can not go on the panic train down the block, but instead be present and know that the panic's not the truth. That's just my usual reaction. But over time, when I do that, then the panic, it just subsides, because now there's a different energy around the whole situation. So that was a huge thing that I realized. And I honestly had a hard time seeing it with money for a long time, until I looked at it from the perspective of a relationship with a man. Because, what woman doesn't have resentment about a man in her life in some way, shape, or form, right? The feminine in general has like deep, deep shit to work through with the masculine right now. And the way astrology is right now, like women are feeling called to do the work for this reason, because we've got all of this stuff in there. So it was when I could see it like the masculine and the masculine energy, and look at it like, if money was my lover, would he show up? Or my inner resentment, it's going to drive him away. Because on the surface, I'm like, I trust you and I want you, but people don't react to what's on the surface. Like, they react to what's deeper. So you have to look deeper. So, yeah, what else did I want to say about that? I just did like a 30-minute live in my group, and maybe I got it all out during that. If you guys want to join my free group, Money Dominatrix, hop on over there. There's lots of good stuff going on in conversations around money and men, and yeah, I'm totally forgetting what I said over there. So, yeah, look at resentments you have. Are you able to really be grateful and trust money? And if you can't see it in your money story, look at men. Look how men are showing up for you. And sometimes you can be great with men and not so great with money, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can always look at one area and be like, okay, I've got it over here, so how can I translate that over here? That's how I look at things. And that's how I figured out things over here with money, because I was pretty good in the, I definitely had issues, but I was better in the man department. So, yeah, I was able to be like, okay, but I saw similarities. I definitely I saw everything I thought over here translated over here. So that's what I help women with, is to step into their feminine power. We cannot do that without looking at the masculine and all these stories underneath, because remember, part of you is the masculine energy too. So a big takeaway I had for myself too was I was resenting money also because I was resenting myself and big choices that I made out of control to have money. So that was a huge thing for me too, was to stop resenting myself and forgive myself for choices I made when I didn't know any better, or when I wasn't brave, or when I wasn't confident. So always what we feel, and quite honestly, I wasn't grateful for myself. So all of the things I felt about money, being ungrateful, being resentful, like there were really things I felt about myself. So it's really a self-healing journey, right? It's law of correspondence. You know, what shows up out there is what's going on in here. So if we don't like what we're seeing out there, then when we shift it in here, it's going to also shift out there. So that's essentially what we're doing in Money Dominatrix. So early bird is $500 off, and it's good until next week, midweek, I think, is when that ends. So you can go check that out. You can join my free group, Money Dominatrix. If you have any questions, PM me. But hopefully you guys can start seeing if there's any like hidden resentments, or where you're not associating responsibility or managing your money with gratefulness and fun or play, because that was a huge shift for me. So you guys have a happy Friday. I'm going to go chill and take care of my body, even though I feel way better. Seriously, acupuncture is amazing. Okay, love you guys. Bye.